For thousands of years, the people of Westeros have sailed the seas, trading and establishing relations with the free cities of Essos and the Summer Isles of the south. However, as one travels further east, less is known, with even maesters and scholars only able to assemble a basic understanding of these lands, relying on second-hand accounts, often unable to discern myth from fact. One such land is the mighty continent of Sothoryos, located south of Old Giscar, bordered by the Summer and Jade Seas. Although a number of civilizations have explored the heavily jungled landmass, only its northern coast has been properly mapped, with the full size and scope of the territory not yet known. One of the most mysterious areas of Sothoryos is the ancient city of Yin, built of an oily black stone cut into blocks so large it would take a dozen elephants to move them. This substance is believed to be the same found in many other places around the world, including a 40-foot tall black stone toad statue found on the Isle of Toads, which may be the remnants of an ancient civilization that vanished long ago. Many believe Yin to be cursed, as every attempt to repopulate or resettle the area has ended in disaster. Yet more disturbing still is that the city has remained in ruins for thousands of years, yet has never been reclaimed by the jungle, with Nymeria of the Rhoynar once remarking that it was a city so evil that even the jungle will not enter. Stories claim that the continent may have once been inhabited by a number of different races and species, such as lizard men and eyeless cave dwellers, who may have been driven to extinction or else may continue to live in the land's unexplored regions. Yet by the time of the War of the Five Kings, only one native race was commonly known, referred to as the Sothori, or brindled men. These large, well-muscled people are reported to have thick skin, brindled with brown and white patterns, as well as broad, flat noses, sloped foreheads, huge square teeth, heavy jaws, and black hair. Although most consider these people slow of wit, they are strong and fierce warriors, making for excellent slaves and pit fighters. Some even claim that it may have been the brindled men that defeated and drove away the other races of Sothoryos, and that the further south you travel, the more wild and vicious these people become, practicing cannibalism and horrific religious rituals in worship of their dark gods. However, as threatening as these native inhabitants may seem to outsiders, they are few in number, and so are only a minor danger when compared to disease, with the continent known for blood boils, bronze pate, brown leg, the dancing plague, grayscale, green fever, pus eye, red death, sailor's bane, sweet rot, worm bone, and yellow gum. Archmaester Ebros, who studied centuries worth of accounts by travelers to the east, determined that on average, 9 of every 10 Westerosi who travel to Sothoryos would contract an illness, and of those, half would die. Additionally, those who venture into these dangerous lands may also encounter ferocious wildlife, such as giant apes, large enough to knock out an elephant with a single blow, crocodiles, basilisks, carnivorous fish, stinging flies, deadly snakes, wasps, worms, white vampire bats, tattooed lizards, and the most feared creature of them all, wyverns, aggressive winged beasts who are believed to be kin to dragons, similar in appearance, though lacking the ability to breathe fire. Yet even after thousands of years, travelers continue to brave the dangers and make the journey, with Sothoryos representing a land of untold possibilities and riches. In the earliest days of sea exploration, when the people of the Summer Isles journeyed east, they discovered the massive continent and explored its western coast. But it is not known how far south they traveled or what they found, because the people of the Isles do not share their maps with outsiders. The Carthene people of the Jade Gate also attempted to explore the territory along its eastern side, originally believing it to be an island twice the size of Great Morrock, but learned it may be otherwise when their explorers could not circle the territory. Next came the Giscari Empire, who established various settlements along the continent's northern coast, like the city of Zamitar, the penal colony of Gorosh in Wyvern Point, and the city of Gorgai on the Isle of Tears, in the area known as the Basilisk Isles. Then, as the Valyrian freehold rose to rival the Giscari in Essos, they too settled the continent, establishing 3 colonies at Basilisk Point. However, they suffered greatly in the dangerous environment, with the first colony destroyed by the brindled men, and the second colony wiped out by plague. Yet their fortunes turned when Valyria captured the city of Gorgai in the Third Giscari War, renaming it Gogosos and using it as a penal colony. They then abandoned their third colony after Valyria's victory in the Fourth Giscari War, where they took possession of the city of Zamitar and so settled their people in this more prosperous and well-established location. During the age of Valyria, a dragon rider named Genera Baleres flew her dragon Terrax as far south as she possibly could, finding only jungle, deserts, and mountains. After 3 years, she returned home, claiming it was a land without end. Although Valyria held Zamitar for a time, the harsh conditions would again take their toll, seeing the city eventually abandoned, until the arrival of Nymeria and the Rhoynar around 700 BC. Stories say Nymeria led 10,000 ships, which fled from the Valyrian conquest of their lands along the river Rhoyne, and so attempted to settle in Sothoryos, establishing cities along Basilisk Point, as well as populating Zamitar and the ruins of Yin. However, many of these settlements suffered tragedy from raids or else disease and predators. For a year, they struggled until a ship traveling from Zamitar to Yin discovered that the entire Rhoynar population of this ancient city had mysteriously vanished. This at last convinced Nymeria to reassemble her followers and once again take to the seas in search of a new home, eventually reaching Dorne and allying with House Martell to successfully settle her people. With so many failed attempts to colonize the continent, Gogossos became one of the only examples of a city able to grow and prosper, at least for a time during the Century of Blood, when the Basilisk Isles became heavily involved in the slave trade, with some nicknaming it the 10th Free City. However, their economic success could not protect them from the Red Death, a horrifying plague which ravaged the city, killing 9 of every 10 residents, and leaving the Basilisk Isles to become a refuge for criminals, pirates, exiles, and prostitutes. Yet while many known civilizations have explored Sothoryos, and thus provided some basic information about the known areas of the map, far to the east, across the Jade Sea, are the lands of Ulthos, of which almost nothing is known. Maps of the world suggest the area may be heavily jungled, with a river on its western coast, and a ruined city on the nearby island of Ulos. But given its distance to Westeros and the proximity to other lands of near mythical status, such as the city of Ashai and the Shadow Mountains, there is little reliable information about the territory, with maesters uncertain about whether it is even an independent continent or just a large island, with some even suggesting it may be connected to Sothoryos or Essos. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Maester Pupper, Grand Maester of the Took, Skipalux the Unbroken, Drakthul, Caleb Flub, and Yikub Thorntongue. You all make these videos possible, and I am eternally grateful for your support. If you would like to help CivilizationEx and gain early access to videos, access to the Patreon-only series Heroes of Lore and Legend, and vote on future content to be produced, you can click on the Patreon link in the description box below and pledge any amount you'd like on a monthly basis. Or if you'd prefer to make a single donation, you can use the PayPal link also in the description below. And please be sure to like and subscribe and click on the links to see more.